I have a new mission for you on behalf of the Republic. We have traced the Iridian freighter you rescued back to the Chaltok system. Years ago, the Chaltok system held a Romulan research facility studying polaric energy. It was nearly destroyed in a polaric energy explosion. It has settled on the planet. Recently, it has become a hotbed of strife. This isn't the first incident we've had with the colony, and we suspect weapons smuggling is occurring. We have heard rumors of one weapons dealer in particular on Chaltok, a Riemann. We'd like to make sure that none of the weapons there are going to be turned against New Romulus. We need you to travel to the Chaltok system and investigate these allegations. Time is short. What do you need of me?
Finally, some proper sport. These scavengers have hardly been worth our time. But a ship like yours, that is a fine prize. Power up your weapons and engines. Make this a proper hunt. I'd rather not have to tolerate the endless yammering of your Federation allies. Why would we need the worthless weapons of our cowardly prey? Your Federation masters have sent you on a fool's errand. Listen to the prey prattle on about peace. How like your Federation masters you have become. You will find the peace you seek in death. Let the hunt begin.
shields have failed.
Another refugee of Romulus. Welcome. I am the leader of this small band. You may call me Lortrix. I assume you were behind destroying those Erogen ships around the planet. We're all very thankful for that. The Erogen have been bothering us for quite some time. I would hate to think what would have happened if you didn't arrive when you did. We mainly supply merchant ships with various minerals, and we have a small ore refining operation. It's not much, but it keeps us alive. The Erogen have been harassing us for quite some time, unfortunately. They want to use our facility to manufacture weapons. You and I both know what will come of that. And no one here wants to get involved in someone else's war. You understand, don't you? I apologize if there has been something to make you distrust us. My chief engineer is nearby. He's honest to the point of conflict. He and I have had our disagreements, but I can rely on him to always give his opinion. Why don't you speak to him? I'll walk with you.
Greetings. I overheard your conversation with Lortrix. I can assure you that the colony is not doing any sort of business with the Erogen. We can barely keep food in our mouths, and the mine running, let alone supply massive weapons for spaceships. I'm doing my best here with limited resources, but at times, even that isn't good enough. Just the other day we had an accident that destroyed half of our mining equipment, leaving us crippled until the next merchant ship passes. Look, people aren't we're the ones that need help. We're not in much shape to help anyone else. What do you want? I'm using the consoles nearby. That's it.
Unlock failed.
This might be just what we need to access the Iconian Gateway network. Until we are able to stop the Iconians and their heralds from appearing wherever they want, there is no place in this galaxy that will be safe from them.
We have them trapped in the warehouse.
Excellent. Activate the transport inhibitors to stop them from beaming out.
Very well. Do you have any further orders?
Just stay out of our way while we subdue the prey.
You're good. Very good. But do you think this will change anything? I spit on you and the Republic. Traitors! To your own people. To die like this. You terrorists. You care nothing for the common people. The Talshar, they protect us, make us stronger. You either choose a side, or you die. Surrounded by the dogs of war. Supported by no one. Even in death, I stand by my choice. Leave me to die.
I've got to say, you Romulans sure know how to throw a party. I haven't felt a rush like that in quite some time. Finish up anything here and warp out. I'll check back with command. And don't take too long, or I might take some of the credit for myself.
When you tripped our monitoring program, the Star Empire sent me to investigate. Our intel said you were part of the terrorist cell on Veronot, but your actions here suggest otherwise. I'm here to make you an offer. Renounce your terrorist allies and come with me and fight for the glory of the Romulan Star Empire. I am authorized to grant you amnesty for your past crimes if you agree to serve the Empire again. If you agree, we would like you to remain within Titan's terrorist cell for the time being. He trusts you. The intel you could gather would be very valuable. The Empire rewards its loyal children well, but it also punishes its enemies. Consider your decision carefully.
Charva. You can't trust her. I know her too well for that. We grew up together. I was her friend. But that's all over. It ended the day she joined the Tal Shiar.
Hello again, Tovan. It's been too long since we were together. Yes, it is true that I am a member of the Tal Shiar. We are the last real protectors of the Romulan people. I have been monitoring this colony since before you arrived. Lortrix was a fool. This is what happens when you're not true to your allegiance. He was selling weapons to anyone who wanted to buy, with no thought to their allegiances. Just like Viranot. In the end, it cost him everything. Your blood, your heritage, that's who you are, where you belong. Anything else is only temporary. I'm here to remind you and your captain of this truth. Now join us before it's too late. You don't understand yet, but you will. The Romulan Republic is a terrorist organization. Datan and his followers are inciting Romulans and Remans to take up arms against the legitimate government of the Romulan Star Empire. Think about it. The military and the Tal Shiar are the only means of guaranteeing security for those of us who survived the destruction. The military has the ships and the manpower. The Tal Shiar has the information and the intelligence network. This new homeworld Datan wants is an illusion. Why start over in contested space near the Federation and the Klingon Empire? Why would Datan choose a system in such a turbulent and dangerous area, unless he knew he could guarantee they wouldn't risk attacking him? He certainly isn't going to do that with pretty words. Datan may have you fooled, but don't just take my word for it. See for yourself. Why do you think that Chaltok is shipping weapons? And they're not the only colony world involved in those kinds of operations. You think that this sort of business wasn't going on elsewhere? Perhaps even on Viranot, right under your nose. Datan's only showing you what he wants you to see. I can show you the things that the Republic is trying to hide. Believe me, or don't. You don't have to trust me. Just trust the evidence. When you are ready to learn more, I'll be ready to show you.
There's a lot I have to say about Charva. As you may have guessed, we used to be quite close. There's a lot of history between us, but all that's really important is that we went separate ways. She thought that the Tal Shiar could ensure security for our people, and I didn't. It's just bringing up a lot of old feelings. As I mentioned, we have a turbulent past. We grew up together. Once, I thought we might have a future together. Those were in the dark years after the destruction of the homeworld. We survived, but it tore us apart. I just wanted to make a new start. She was convinced that nowhere was safe. She kept talking about working with the military or the Tal Shiar. I argued that the only way we'd be safe was to be able to stand up for ourselves. There's a lot I have to say about Charva. As you may have guessed, we used to be quite close. There's a lot of history between us, but all that's really important is that we went separate ways. She thought that the Tal Shiar could ensure security for our people, and I didn't. It's just bringing up a lot of old feelings. I don't believe Datan is a terrorist. I think he's an idealist who's trying to come to terms with the chaos. Datan would never knowingly sanction violence, especially against innocents. He doesn't even like us fighting the Tal Shiar, although he sees the need. But Datan isn't the only person making decisions in the Republic. Maybe there are some people who see the Republic as their chance to have a little revenge. I don't know. I think Charva is wrong about Datan and the Republic, but that doesn't mean it's outside the bounds of possibility that someone has taken things too far, or has a secret program that Datan doesn't know about. If she knows something that we don't, we should try to find out what it is. There's a lot I have to say about Charva. Well, Charva's not a bad person. At least she wasn't. But she is misguided. She's turned a blind eye to the excesses of the Tal Shiar, and she probably doesn't even know about most of them. The Tal Shiar are masters of propaganda, after all. I think that anything she tells us is going to be something that the Tal Shiar wants us to hear. We should gather our own evidence and draw our own conclusions. There's a lot I have to say about Charva. As you may have guessed, well, Charva's... There's a lot I have to say.
Your findings are distressing. I'll pass this along to Republic Command. As for Charva, I think the best course of action right now is to wait for her next move. If she's really desperate to make her case, she'll contact you again. If she does, keep me informed. Nadell out.
Time is short. Congratulations, Centurion.
It looks like we're not the only ones visiting. All this debris has attracted Nausicaan scavengers. Recommend that we clear the area of these pirates while searching for any traces of weapon signatures in the wreckage. I don't want any pirates disturbing the remains of the ships where our friends died. I've marked... We didn't find anything unusual on these ships, and I knew we wouldn't. I want to believe her, but she's not the person I knew. She's tall Shi'ar. Still, I am picking up some strange energy readings from the surface of the planet. Perhaps we should continue our search there.
You're one of them, aren't you? We've been looking all over this place for evidence of your terrorist plots, and here you are, showing up to dispose of the evidence we're here to find. I'm placing you under arrest. Resist, and I'll have to use force. I hope you resist.
This was such a peaceful place once. And so beautiful. They'll pay for what they have done to our colony. I remember that painting. We should take it with us, as a reminder of home. DeVex's old helmet. Reminds me of better times.
So, you're the terrorist. I allied with the Klingon Empire because they promised me the opportunity to find people like you. People willing to hurt innocent civilians and remove you from the Romulan race. You're no better than the Tal Shar. It's people like me who will restore honor to our people. Of course you are. My teams didn't find the weapons that were here, but this colony has been empty for weeks. You had ample time to hide them, or move them to another location off-world. But there's no evidence that they weren't here. And in the absence of evidence, I go with my instincts. They tell me that people like you hid weapons here, and those weapons got people killed. Innocents. Civilians. People who should have been living in peace. This ends now. You won't get a chance to hurt anyone else. Enough! Enough! I yield! Do with me what you will. What? Surprising words coming from a terrorist. That makes a surprising amount of sense. A contact that I thought I could trust told me there was evidence of terrorism and weapons manufacturing here. I'm guessing you were told the same thing. Neither of us found anything, except one another. We were sent here to die. I agree. Whoever set up this little charade is probably lying in wait to eliminate the survivor of our battle. Won't they be surprised when we join forces? I'll return to my ship immediately. Join me in orbit, and we can finish this.
Enemy ship on sensors.
How disappointing to see you alive. I am Commander Talum of the IRW Ishay, and you seem to have a talent for sniffing out Tal Shiar. I thought sending another Romulan Republic terrorist to take you out would take care of two problems at once. I was mistaken. Perhaps this is for the best. Now I can take both your bodies back to Colonel Hakiv. I'm sure he will.
Congratulations.
I am impressed by your martial prowess. You would have made an excellent warrior. I wish you had chosen to work with the Klingon Defense Force instead of Starfleet. Regardless, I am glad we can both serve the greater good of the Romulan Republic.
I picked up a transmission from an attack group in this direction. It sounded like you must have uncovered something significant enough to warrant an armed response. What did you find? That can't be. Are you suggesting I had something to do with it? Why would I? I have nothing to gain. I want you to join us. All of our intelligence reports said there would be weapons, or at least residual traces of weapon stores here. I swear it. Someone must have gotten to it before you and moved it. Covered it up somehow. Did you tell anyone you were coming here? I know my information didn't turn out like we expected this time, but is Tovan still looking for his sister? I might be able to locate Rinna. If the Tal Shiar has any information on her whereabouts, I'll pass it on to you. That should show you I can be trusted. I just need to make my report before anyone gets suspicious. After that, I'll be in touch.
Excellent work. I'm not surprised that you did not find any weapons on Virinot. While the Romulan Republic has contacts with most of the colony worlds, we're not using them to fight a war. We're encouraging them to see the truth and join our cause. Nonetheless, you must continue to humor Charva to have any chance of winning her to our side. I doubt this will be the last you hear from her. Keep me apprised of developments.
Time is short. Congratulations, Centurion.
Greetings. Given what you've discovered at Chaltok and Viranot, we need to widen our investigation. Republic ships have gone missing, and we can't afford these sort of losses. We need you to look into this problem. Head to the Beta Quadrant. One of our ships went missing near the Mempa system, and we want you to find out what happened. While I appreciate the personal nature of your attempt to find Rinakev, you need to focus on the big picture. Our fledgling republic needs to establish its legitimacy as a political body, fend off attacks and intrigue by the Tal Shar and other external threats, and stabilize its claims on New Romulus. Right now, we need you to pursue this investigation. Our fleet is not particularly large, and we cannot afford to have any ships go missing. We need you to find out what's happening to them. Don't worry, this isn't the old Empire where one person's welfare is put by the wayside for the good of the state. We'll keep looking for information about Rina. The best thing you can do is help the Republic to survive, so we can devote more resources to missions of a more personal nature. Time is short. What do you need of me?
We've arrived at the source of the distress signal. Scanning the area now. The ship is badly damaged, but there's no clear relationship between the distortion and the ship. I ran a comparison to the anomalies we scanned previously in the Kittimer system. While they appear similar at first look, the spike in tetrions is different from what we've seen before. Sir, there's no sign of a Republic vessel in the area. Whatever happened here is unfortunate, but I recommend we continue our search elsewhere. It may look suspicious if we linger.
Hold the up button to activate and deactivate full impulse.
Cardassians use a recursive encryption algorithm to protect their data from unauthorized access. We'd have to be on their bridge to tap into their systems. We have no idea what happened to this ship. We could be putting ourselves at risk for the sake of curiosity. I recommend we leave and continue our search elsewhere. It's your call, but if you're going over to that ship, then I'm coming with you. Interesting. No visible damage. Why would they abandon the ship? The bridge appears operational, but where's the crew? No other life signs detected. We're alone. Here's something odd. There are no corpses on this ship. The ship description fits what we've seen of the Alachi. Several security logs were accessed recently. It explains why there aren't any corpses. One more. Pulling it up now. Wait. That noise. Several ships are on approach and requesting status. Sir, they're Cardassian.
You'll pay for your interference.
That is unfortunate. Your ship would be worth far more undamaged. This is your last chance. Feel free to use the escape pods if necessary.
2 more waves are approaching the system. Recommend a defensive posture with power to shields.
Press the right button to set your ship's power levels to have a focus on attack, defense, auxiliary, or speed.
avenge us!
The Cardassians were unaware of what had happened to their missing vessel. It appears the Alachi attacked them while they were hunting for our ships. Bad luck. We should destroy the derelict. Let the True Way think that the Republic defeated all of their patrols.
Based on what you've learned, it seems that your next lead is in the Beta Quadrant. Head to the Donatu system and see if you can learn more about where our ships are going and who's taking them.
According to new intel, Sela has started paying privateers to capture or destroy Romulan Republic ships. That would explain why these Cardassians are operating outside their normal territory. I suggest we track these True Way ships back to their base. If we're lucky, they'll lead us right to the missing Republic ships. Recommend we stay cloaked as we approach the station, sir. If we avoid the magnetic flux energy, we should be able to remain cloaked as we approach the station.
further proof that the Romulan Republic is nothing more than a terrorist cabal. We've contacted the legitimate Romulan government and alerted them to your presence. Any further acts of terror against this station or any Cardassian citizen will be met with deadly force. Your ignorance of Cardassian history is insulting. We do not listen to demands. We give them. Before you transported us, I overheard a guard saying that more True-Way ships were approaching. We need time to restore emergency power. Please provide cover until we are able to go to warp. Power restored. Preparing to warp out of the system.
Excellent. I hope that your new starship has performed to your satisfaction. Now that we know about Sila's attempts to capture our ships, we'll order our commanders to exercise additional caution in territory near True-Way space, or with other groups that might try their hand at privateering. I have received some new intelligence from our allies that may be of use to us. Expect to hear from me shortly.
Time is short. Congratulations, Sub-Commander.
Congratulations. You've proven yourself to be invaluable to the Republic Navy and earned the respect of your fellow officers. Return to New Romulus. I would like to formally recognize your contributions to the Republic.
Your active traits are listed on the left. Detailed information about each trait is available on the right. You can change active traits by selecting the trait slot you wish to modify. Your active traits are listed. Traits are passive bonuses. New traits are earned.
We've located the transports that are carrying the prisoners. And Charva's intel isn't exactly accurate. She told us they were going to be Tal Shiar ships, but they're Cardassian. Do you think they could be disguised? And lightly guarded? They have combat-ready escorts. We'll need to defeat the escorts and disable the transport vessels. Then we can board and start looking for my sister. I still think she could be on board, even though the escorts are Cardassian ships instead of Tal Shiar. That's the last of them. An away team is waiting in the transporter room. We can board the first transport as soon as you're ready. There are faint life signs up ahead. One of them could be Rena. Let's check our fire. Perhaps the Tal Shiar knew the Cardassians took this convoy and sent us here to fight them. No matter who survived, us or the True Way, either way, the Tal Shiar wins. The Tal Shiar led us into a trap. Again. I'm tired of being lied to, being tricked. The self-destruct on this ship is still active. Let's set it before we beam over to the next one and look for Rena there. All we should leave behind is a cloud of debris, and then the Tal Shiar and the True Way will know the cost of crossing the Romulan Republic.
This is interesting. There have been recent Tal Shiar patrols in the Hobus system, and they've been confronted by Reman ships. But these Remans weren't aligned with Obisek or the Remans working with the Republic. They served someone else. Hobus was ground zero for the supernova that destroyed the homeworld. If there are Remans there, they might know something about what happened.
There isn't any data on prisoners here. It's just cargo and soldiers. I don't understand why Charva would send us here. Was she trying to get us killed? I can't believe Charva would lie about Rena being on one of these ships. We used to be so close. More escort ships inbound on an attack vector.
I provided the convoy's coordinates as a gesture of good faith. I remember how close Tovan was to his sister. Rina was my friend too. Although she's committed crimes against the Romulan Star Empire, I'm willing to give her and you another chance.
How could you lie to us again? Lead us into another trap? And you use Rena to do it! That's low, even for the Tal Shiar. She wasn't on those transports. It was all a setup, a deception intended to get us killed, and I'm not falling for it again. Give me a reason, any reason to believe the woman I cared about is still in you, that you can still be saved.
The Tal Shiar moves prisoners all the time. Sometimes it's for security reasons, or because Colonel Hakib wants to handle an interrogation personally. Maybe Rina has already been sent someplace else. I'll check my contacts and see what I can find. I'm trying to help. You can't deny that. Maybe now you'll see that all Tal Shiar aren't the monsters that Datan and his group make us out to be.
We put word out that Tovan's sister is still missing. I'll let you know if we hear anything. Keep talking to Charva. It's clear now she's playing some sort of game, but we can get ahead of this if you and Tovan keep her distracted. Anything that will give us an upper hand with the Tal Shiar will help our cause.
Time is short. Congratulations, Sub-Commander.
If you want proof, then I'll provide it. I'm transmitting several classified Tal Shiar files to your ship now. Read through them, analyze them yourself, and then you'll see the truth. Ditan and his kind are terrorists and a threat to the survival of the Romulan people. After that, I hope you'll reconsider your options. The Tal Shiar are trying to help the Romulan people, and you should be fighting for us. We've been fighting for you all this time.
Captain, we're getting two different stories here. One from Charva, and one from these documents. Analysis of the files shows that either Charva is trying deliberately to mislead us, or that she's being misled herself. Since she seems to firmly believe what she's telling us, I'm not completely comfortable disregarding her information out of hand. I recommend that we speak to Commander Tal Mera on Drozana Station. She has contacts in the intelligence community that we don't. She should be able to either confirm or deny our findings.
Welcome to Drozana. You're cleared for docking. We have everything you need for shore leave, and a few things that you didn't even know you wanted. Shopping, drinking, dining, entertainment. You'll find it all here. And don't forget the 77th rule of acquisition. If you break it, I'll charge you for it.
Was there something you needed? Tal Shiar files. I'm sure there's a good story behind how you came into possession of these. Let's see what you have. What sort of information do you need? Personally, I'd regard anything given to you by a Tal Shiar operative with suspicion. They are we can do that. Show me what you have and what parts of them are troubling you. I've seen some interesting works of fiction, but nothing that compares to this. Deton and Lortrix working together? On a Riemann mining colony? Huh, I don't think so. Can you see Deton in a dilithium mine? And Lortrix was storing weapons for Deton? Why? There have to be better places we can stash supplies than in an enemy colony. And this section about Deton working with Klingons to target colonies for terrorist attacks is ridiculous. Neither Deton or the Empire would do such a thing. The Klingons may be warlike, but they won't engage a civilian target without a reason. I'm detecting that sections of the file have been altered. That's probably why it reads like a bad spy story. According to my records, Deton was in contact with the Klingon Empire, but he was talking to them about which colonies needed agricultural aid. And there were weapons on Chaltok, as you well know. But not only were they making weapons for the Hirogen, they were targeting Romulan militia targets, including the flotilla. Now, I didn't realize that Lortrix and Deton knew each other, but apparently they do. They interacted once during negotiations during a workers' strike at a Riemann mining facility. It's funny how people from such different worlds and outlooks can interact. Deton was talking to the Klingon Empire about colonies near our borders, but it wasn't to target them for attack. It was to discern which ones had the greatest need for agricultural assistance. A lot of the newer colonies are having a rough time trying to establish themselves. Deton believes that the more prosperous colonies have a responsibility to help support others. That's why he was talking to the Empire. He was asking if they would be willing to assist as well. Unfortunately, once the rumor of terrorist attacks entered the mix, the High Council broke off aid talks. And I'm not surprised that Lortrix was aiming weapons at our targets, although I don't think he was doing so at the request of the Hirogen. The Tal Shiar has a way of getting into everything, and we know that they were monitoring that colony. The Tal Shiar operative could have manipulated Lortrix into aiming some of the weapons at Romulan Republic targets. If they were fired, then we'd lose big, and a neutral colony would be blamed for the attack. Also, I think it was a coincidence that Deton and Lortrix were acquainted. Lortrix once worked for the Riemann Mining Cooperative, but he wasn't exactly a model employee. In fact, he was one of the leaders of a strike that turned violent. The Riemanns brought in a group of negotiators to help end the crisis. Deton was one of the people they invited. He helped negotiate a settlement, and Lortrix was one of the representatives of the workers during those negotiations. I doubt they've ever spoken to one another again once the strike ended. I think the Tal Shiar are conducting quite an effective smear campaign against Deton and our movement. It's our responsibility to see through their deceptions. We can do that. Show me what you have and what parts of them are troubling you. I'm detecting several abnormalities in this file. It looks like portions of it have been altered. We should corroborate these reports in order to determine which facts are actually true and which are Tal Shiar fabrications. Here's what we know and can confirm from our files. Deton did smuggle crates to Virenot before the attack on your colony, but they were carrying ship parts, not weapons. And he did more to help the colony without drawing excess attention. It was our group that helped your people get the water reclamation equipment they needed to support a healthy population. And yes, we spent a great deal of time and money gathering information about both the Federation and the Klingon Empire. But we're not planning an attack. Why would we? Instead, we're gathering all the intel we can about the political climates of both factions. Deton has been working with colony leaders for years, including the Maori and others at Virenot. However, since the Empress and the Tal Shiar often retaliate against people who are friendly to our movement, in the past, we've tried to keep those contacts as quiet as possible. Your colony had some talented engineers who were willing to help flotilla ships. Deton provided crates full of ship parts, smuggled from other friendly settlements. Your engineers repaired Allied ships who needed help. But Titan is a man of peace. I can't ever see him wanting to smuggle weapons, especially not to a civilian site. Of course, because the people at Veronot risked their safety to help our ships, Titan helped them in return. One of the ways the Tal Shiar keeps control over colony worlds is by denying or diverting needed supplies. Before the attack, Veronot's population had outgrown its water treatment capabilities. They tried to acquire another water filtration unit, but were blocked by lost shipments, denied paperwork, and other bureaucratic hassles. It could have meant disease and deprivation for your people. So the Maori reached out to Titan. He provided the water reclamation equipment Veronot needed, and even helped the colonists conceal it so it couldn't be damaged in a convenient accident. And yes, we do spend a great deal of time and effort gathering intel on both Starfleet and Klingon Empire, but we're not studying their defenses. We're learning about their political climates. Our relationships with the Klingons and Starfleet are still very fragile. They're being strengthened by people like you. But a shift in attitudes on the High Council or the Federation Council could mean disaster for us. The more we know about what's happening, the better we can react to it. I'm not saying that Titan is a complete innocent. None of us are. The political information could be used to sway decisions in our favor. The ship part and water reclamation equipment were smuggled illegally. But you have to look at the intent behind Titan's actions. He's trying to help people, not tear them down. We can do that. Show me what you have and what parts of them are troubling you. Huh. I didn't realize that the Tal Shiar had transferred prisoners to the Kinkuthanza system penal colony. Probably because there isn't a penal colony in the Kinkuthanza system. That's not the only discrepancy I'm detecting in this file. There's distinct signs of tampering. We need to figure out what they altered, and why. Here's what I know. Most Tal Shiar prisoners fall off the grid completely. We don't know where they're taken, or what's being done to them, and that troubles Titan a great deal. We have, however, heard of a Tal Shiar facility called Installation 18 that appears to be a holding facility. Some prisoners would likely be taken there. As far as I know, your friend's sister has never been in the Theban system, much less been captured there. We did lose a militia ship there a few weeks ago, and one of my agents, Sub-Commander Avron, is still in Tal Shiar custody. Avron was trying to steal supplies from a Tal Shiar convoy when he was captured. It was risky, but they had critical supplies we couldn't get any other way. We don't know what the Tal Shiar is doing with their prisoners, but a lot more people are missing than we can account for. We have, however, found several references to a place called Installation 18. We're still tracking down where this facility is and what they're doing there, but we know that prisoners are taken there for an unknown purpose. Rina Kev hasn't shown up on any of our lists of the missing, but I have found references to someone with that name being a crew member on a cargo transport. As far as I know, the ship she was working on has never been to the Theban system. But if your friend can't find her, I'd be concerned. The Tal Shiar has a nasty habit of making people disappear. We did lose a ship in the Theban system recently, a small scout vessel. Its commander was one of my agents, and we have confirmed that Sub-Commander Avron is being held in Tal Shiar custody. Sub-Commander Avron was there doing reconnaissance for me. Tal Shiar convoys pass through that region of space, and there was one convoy that had vital supplies we need. The plan was a long shot at best, but Avron knew the risks when he took the assignment. Now that Avron is in custody and the convoy has made it safely to its destination, All we can do is try to figure out how to soldier on without the components that were in those ships. Did Datan know about the plan to attack a Tal Shiar convoy? Yes. Does that make us criminals and terrorists? That's something you're going to have to decide for yourself. We can do that. Show me what you have and what parts of them are troubling you. We're fighting for our independence and the future of the Romulan race. We're short on supplies and allies and beset by enemies that see nothing wrong with murder, torture, and kidnapping. And they call us the terrorists. We've had to make some difficult decisions. Some of them have led us down roads that none of us wanted to take. But nothing we've done is anything as terrible as what the Tal Shiar is accusing Datan of doing. There are no innocents in a war, and that includes Datan. At least his motivations are clear. And I can't see what the Tal Shiar has to gain by framing him for these crimes.
Captain, Jarva's convinced that these files are genuine. She wouldn't be pushing us this hard otherwise. We need to sit down and show her the discrepancies we've discovered, preferably in front of a Tal Shiar computer, so we can open her eyes to the truth. If we contact her and say we're ready to join the Tal Shiar, but we need to discuss these files first, maybe she'll take us somewhere where we can prove to her that she's been lied to. There's a subspace communications hub in the lounge on Drozana Station's observation level that we can use to contact Jarva.
I wasn't expecting to hear from you so soon. Are you ready to join the Tal Shiar? I take it that everything I provided checked out to your satisfaction? That's a fair request. The Tal Shiar maintains a clandestine network of satellites throughout the quadrant. There's a listening post that's part of this network in the Aja system. It's near your current position and off the trade routes, so we should be able to meet privately. It's also connected to the rest of the Tal Shiar network, so we can go over the data in detail. I'm glad you've seen the light. You're joining the right side.
Was there something you needed? It's remote and has little strategic value. If you're planning some shore leave after this is over, I'd suggest you go to Ryza instead. I can tell you, you're probably flying into a trap. The Tal Shiar invests a great deal of time and effort to spin a web of lies. They don't look favorably on people who try to expose them for what they are. If you're going to go, at least take some backup. That won't be too difficult. You've made a lot of friends. Send out a subspace burst if you need some assistance in the Aza system. They'll be waiting for your signal.
Captain, we're detecting another ship in the system. It's Charva's ship, the IRW Aethra. They're signaling to us that Charva has already beamed over to the listening post, and that you and I should join her. But they say only us. We can't take a full away team. I hope we're able to make Charva see reason. She doesn't seem willing to accept that Tal Shiar is at the root of many of the problems of the Romulan people. It's not going to be easy to convince her.
I am so glad to hear that you are considering my offer of joining the Tal Shiar. They offer safety and stability to all Romulans. You will not regret your decision. I cannot blame you for wanting to do your due diligence. Seeing as you are about to join our ranks, I do not think the Tal Shiar would mind if we took a look at some of the intelligence files used to generate the reports I gave you. Just do not tell any of my superiors that we did this. You do not have clearance yet. This cannot be right. It appears as if some of the information that was included in the report I gave you does not line up with what is here. Several of the facts have been changed either here or in the report, and the results skew any conclusions that could be drawn. But I thought, these recordings don't line up with the report either. What's going on here? Who could have tampered with this evidence? Has this file been tampered with? This is the same story as the others. This evidence doesn't match the report I shared with you. You knew about this, didn't you? That's why you had me look at these files. Did you alter this data to make me look bad? Are you trying to sabotage my career with the Tal Shiar?